Hey there, internets. This is Kyle coming to you again with another edition in the on the My Business Launch Secrets YouTube channel, where I'm documenting my journey from $0 to $1 million and starting a business from ground up, online business from the beginning. We're day 22 or I think 22, yeah. Today is Sunday. Was mostly just busy today with taking care of some things around the house, finishing up some work in my basement area, and hanging out with the family. Got together with my mom for dinner, so that was good. And but honestly, this evening I could have put in some work for the business, but I did not. I chose not to. What I meant to say. I did kind of go through clearing up some stuff with how I was running some of my email accounts for my other business, which is, as a landlord, I have a rental property, so, and in addition to that, I was clearing up. I had been paying for some web hosting a previous business venture that I started or paid a lot of money for a course several months ago to build up a bunch of lead generation websites, and that would be something I could sell or rent out to people, businesses, whatever, but I decided not to do that for various reasons, so I didn't really have much need for this web hosting thing, since all the web hosting stuff I need, from this point forward, I'll be able to take care of through ClickFunnels. So I cleared up some of that stuff, and I was running some of my email addresses through that service, but just kind of redirected that to other accounts. So I could cancel that, save in $20 a month, whatever. No big deal, but today I've been thinking about a couple things. I guess one is I really do need to start making some money with this damn thing. It's October, middle of October now. I kind of started this whole journey back towards the beginning of the year. And as I mentioned in past videos, I've been through various fits and starts, trying to figure out kind of what I want to really put my focus and attention towards, and building something up. And I've paid for a bunch of different courses and learned some interesting things, but ultimately kind of settled on this idea, setting up this PhD secrets business to share some insights that I have being a PhD engineer. So been doing this for a while, and spent a lot of money, which unfortunately for me, I'm able to kind of afford that out-of-pocket expense for now. But I would really like to be able to pay myself back, which means there has to be some money coming in to, pay myself back for all the money that I've paid into the business that has gone out on various things, courses, trainings, subscriptions, email accounts, etc., various stuff. And so I do need to, it's October, so 2.5 more months left in this year. So, but I still need to get the newsletter off the ground. Then I was thinking, maybe I'll just go all in for the high-end stuff, but my belief, and maybe it's a limiting belief, but my belief is that it would be hard to start out with that when I don't, it's like I'd be asking people to invest, say, $5,000 with me, and from complete strangers who nobody knows me, and anybody who's wanting to get some advice. I mean, or some coaching from somebody, first thing they're going to do is Google you, obviously, and try to do some research about who you are and what you're all about and that sort of stuff. And I just don't have anything out there yet, really, that people can look at to say, oh yeah, I think this is a good dude or not. On the flip side, though, I mean, I would say, again, I have invested some money in some trainings, pretty sized, thousands of dollars I've spent on trainings from guys. I mean, one of them in particular was from a guy that I did try to look him up, but I mean, he's like a ghost or something, I don't know. I mean, he just doesn't put a lot of anything out with his name on it, really, so if you just Google him, you don't really see anything. So I guess on that note, I mean, he did, in that case, they were able to sell me on the idea of what, the outcome was that I was trying to attain. Again, that was like a new business opportunity sort of thing, so it might be a little different from somebody looking for career coaching sort of stuff, but it was a thought. I don't know. But again, I guess it doesn't really matter until I start putting ads out and trying to generate traffic, drive traffic to this one or more of my funnels. Until I start doing that, obviously I just won't really know, right? So maybe I should do that. Maybe I should set up, I think for my high ticket stuff, it would be driving people to a page to fill out an application to work with me, and then I would follow up by phone or something to do the close. I mean, Russell Brunson has some scripts for doing that sort of thing, and I think in the DotCom Secrets book, so I can use that. And Alex Hermoso has a lot of stuff and insight in terms of doing that kind of thing as well. So I could try to do that and just see if I get any takers. The only thing I don't know, which again is probably the reason why I should just do it so I can figure it out, but the thing I don't know is how much it's going to cost me in advertisement, my advertisement budget to get any sort of leads. Because certainly you can spend all the monies on advertising, and it's super unclear what you'll get back. And I don't really have the luxury of forking out another, $5,000, $10,000, whatever the amount is, in order to get, even a couple paying customers. Which if I was selling something at $5,000, then you say, oh, it's fine for you to spend $10,000 in advertising if you get two people out of that are willing to pay $5,000 because you've made your money back. And while that is true, then it's like I'm just doing a lot with no actual profit in the bank. So on the flip side, if I can sell them on it, if they have a good experience, and those could be very good testimonials to build into the funnel, which should help conversions, follow-on conversions, right? So I guess that is okay, but spending again, just from the fact that I've already spent thousands of dollars on, working through getting a business off the ground, the idea of spending thousands of dollars more just is not super appealing at the moment. But on that note, the other thing I was thinking about today was, I actually saw a video on the old Facebook, which I really hate Facebook, but the thing about Facebook is that all these stupid groups and trainings that you sign up for, it's all like, oh, go to our Facebook group to get links to all the things and check out our Facebook lives and whatever BS. So it's like you got to go there, you got to sign up for that thing in order to get access to some of this stuff, which forced me to get a Facebook account, which I didn't even have. prior to a few months ago. But I did that. Anyway, point being that now when I'm in times of weakness, I will just sit there and freaking scroll through random videos on the freaking Facebook. Because, I mean, one thing Facebook knows is they know what kind of things you like. And they will show you that over and over and over to keep you sitting there wasting your time for long periods of time. It's kind of interesting because even when they do that, I mean, I don't really see that much advertisements on Facebook. I mean, sometimes some of the video, what I really hate on Facebook is sometimes, you know, you're kind of used to it on YouTube where you're watching a video and, you know, it comes to a break and maybe the person doing the video has some sponsorship, so they then sort of kind of cut to saying, "Oh, hey, this video is sponsored by blah blah blah," or maybe maybe YouTube throws in a commercial midstream. So you guys are kind of used to it when you're watching a YouTube video, and you just wait. At least you know on YouTube, you just wait 5 seconds, and usually you can skip the rest of the advertisement and get onto the rest of your video. Facebook, they might do that, but it's because, you know, most of the time you're on your phone versus most of the time when I'm watching YouTube, it's on my computer. That's just me. It's so damn small, I can't always find the freaking button to skip the commercial, and sometimes it doesn't even let you skip the commercial, and so it's like you gotta wait for 30 seconds. I'm not gonna wait for 30, like, none of the freaking videos on the damn Facebook are that interesting that want me to sit through a 30-minute commercial to finish the whatever random little cooking short video that somebody may be showing me, right? Anyway, I digress. The point was, I was watching some things on the Facebooks, and this short video by Gary Gary Vee, came up, and it was like him maybe during a podcast or something. I don't know. It was him and another dude talking, and the guy asked him questions of like, "Hey, if you had to start over today," which if you don't know Gary Vaynerchuk, I mean, he's like super wealthy, is, you know, very successful entrepreneur, multiple businesses, etc. Anyway, this guy asks him, "Hey, if you had to start over today, start from ground zero. You don't have your money, you don't have your lists and followings. All you have is, who you are and your mindset, blah, blah, blah. Like, what would you do to, rebuild whatever you have, and like how long, or what could you get that done in 30 days, or there was some time component to it." And so that was the thing that Gary really kind of hit on, was he's like, the problem with a lot of people that want to become entrepreneurs today is they expect their success to come rapidly, and so they don't go into it expecting that it is going to take a long time to get to, whatever their goals are, financially or otherwise. And that's ultimately why they fail. He's like that. He specifically said that's why a lot of people today that are becoming entrepreneurs will fail, because they're expecting to get to a result much faster than is ever realistic for most people. Again, there's always going to be exceptions to that rule, and of course the people that do literally start from nothing and get to, $1 billion company in 9 months or whatever ridiculous time frame, those are the main stories you hear about, because those types of stories are the ones that sell a lot of people on what are the secrets to how they did that thing. And so they can sell those so-called secrets, although there's probably not anything real secret about it. It's just it was a unique blend of circumstances or people involved or whatever that led to a rapid growth in a business, right? Gary, Gary is a guy that, he's a well-known speaker, I guess, these days, and talks to a lot of people about how to start their companies, how to build companies, etc. But he himself was like, basically, you have to go into all this understanding and recognizing that this is a long-term grind until you will achieve significant success. And which is things I've talked about before. I mean, Alex Hormozy talks about this a lot as well. This idea of we overestimate what we can do in a year. We underestimate what we can do in 10 years or 5 years or whatever. The longer time horizon. And since we overestimate what we can do in a year, we put kind of unnecessary pressures on ourselves to reach those goals. And in doing so, I think we make decisions that are not in the benefit of our longer term growth plan. Now, I recognize that this is a little bit counter to what I'm even trying to do with this whole video series, which I'm trying to get to $1 million in revenue within a year, which I think most people would agree that that's probably pretty sporty from a guy who's never done it before. And I don't disagree with that, but I think it is important to set goals, and I think it's important to set big goals, which to me $1 million is a very big goal. I mean, to people that have already done it, that's, they're like, oh, I'm doing $1 million a month or whatever, or in a week. That's fine for them. I've made nowhere close to that amount of money in a year. I mean, I've made pretty good money in a year, but not close to the $1 million mark by any stretch of the imagination. So to me, if I were to make that much money in a year, and that's just gross, I'm obviously trying to create a business that has pretty low overhead, and at this point, I'm doing everything myself. Aside from just paying for tools online that I need to accomplish what I need to do. But there will be certain hard costs that will come up. I mean, once I do get the newsletter, I'll have to pay printing and shipping and all that sort of stuff. But that's, again, relatively cheap in the grand scheme of things. But nevertheless, $1 million gross revenue, it's like not counting all the tax that you have to pay on that sort of stuff. But so to me, that's a pretty big goal. And I recognize that it's, certainly possible and probably likely that I won't reach that goal within a year. But I don't think it's impossible. I think that's a key point. Is like, I think you want to set goals that are like pretty lofty, but they're not like impossible. Like obviously, if I said I'm going to become a billionaire in a year, well, that's not going to happen. Like, it's just not. Even if I went and won the lottery tomorrow, I would not be a billionaire. Unless I hit that recent Powerball $1 billion jackpot. But in any case, that's not going to happen. So I think you got to be a little realistic, but still set it as something pretty high up there. I mean, you could say that's like a 10x kind of goal, I guess, for me, more or less. And since 10x whatever seems to be a big moniker these days, with Grant Cardone and others sort of spouting that around, I'll say maybe that's something to kind of shoot for, but still taking actions that you're building something that's going to be long lasting. That's ultimately where I think it's kind of taken me a while to get to where I am today, and have spent thousands of dollars on other trainings for other types of businesses that I'm basically not going to use any of that. I mean, there were certain things that I kind of learned in going through those trainings, but none of it's they're not specifically about the type of business that I'm trying to build now. And the reason I mainly chose not to do those was because I felt that those were more sort of short-term plays. Like, yeah, maybe you could have made some money doing those things, but they were not really building lasting businesses, in my opinion. They were more so building, trying to, work off some type of, what's the word? Not leverage, but some sort of kind of disconnect in the market right now where, what's it called? Some fancy business term. recognize sort of a deficiency in one part of the economy and you sort of bridge the gap to somebody else who finds that more valuable. I can't think of it. Anyway, point being, building a lasting business is more about building a list of people that you can go to when you have new products to sell, or that you have them on some continuity, something that you're offering, and you are building that list over time. So like Russell Brunson talks about, he's got a list of entrepreneurs, like a 1 million plus person list of entrepreneurs on his list that he's built up over 20 years or whatever, right? And that's a pretty massive list that you can go to if you're promoting your own thing or you want to promote somebody else's thing and get a cut of that. Like, that's where you really get sustainable business models overall. And it's the same for any local business. You want to build up strong connections and build relationships with the people that are soliciting your business frequently, because that's going to keep them coming back to you as opposed to, John Doe that opens up next door doing the same thing you're doing, right? So that's where I'm kind of focused right now. And, I have mapped out some details of how I could potentially get to $1 million within a year with the type of business I'm building. And I think it is feasible. I mean, I don't need like a 1 million person email list to get there. But again, not to say it's going to be easy. And I think the hardest things are still yet to come. And the biggest unknowns are yet to come in terms of like, how are people actually going to react once I start putting advertisements out? And are people going to respond to it? Or is it something that what I'm planning to offer the people I'm trying to target aren't really even that interested in it? And that's fine. That'll cause me to have to shift course a little bit and come up with a different plan. But won't know until we get started. So in any case, I've gone a little bit long today. So hope you're all doing well, kicking ass, taking names. Talk to you next time. Peace.